Read on.
The rest of 67. For the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
We went in the first time on foot.
Right.
Okay?
Sure.
This time, there's this land mass here.
There's no need for a ship.
There's no need for a ship.
Right. That's
Talking
right.
about something else, right?
And then we saw when Moses parted the Red Sea, crossed over on dry land.
Right, that board right there. That's what they're talking about. That mighty captivity.
This time, he said with ships. We see where the nation of fierce councils came from afar.
Right.
And got us and brought us back with the sign of the eagle. What other people? All you got to ask. Simple question. What other people were ever carried from one place to another by ships in captivity?
Name one.
Then there go your dollar right there.
It didn't happen to Esau.
The pyramids on it too. What's the pyramid doing on our dollar?
Right. Exactly. This nation is based off captivity. Okay? And we the ones that are held captive. But it didn't happen to Esau. Specifically, it didn't happen to Esau, but he the one that saved us, our brother. Assumed identity. We got, like what your song say, that there's no proof of it because we ain't there. How can we defend it? I'm not standing in Jerusalem. You know what I'm saying? I'm not there saying I'm at home. I'm not there hollering at people, get out my land. Get out my land.
You wouldn't have to be if
Exactly.
an Israelite.
There was that if. See, we were delivered from one place. And see, keep in mind, this is when he set us up as a people. When he told Abraham, our father, go, that's where we ended up. This the crib. Okay, and this is where we was established. When he put his name there, he put his name there with his people. With his people. So that's where we come from. Even though I was born in Mississippi by way of Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Okay, that's mine.
We go back before the slave ships. Way before that. Right, bro. 28.
Yeah.
And also Egypt comes from a word that means slavery or bondage. That wasn't even the name of the land back in the day. Mizraim. Mizraim right there, that's Egypt right there. That's what the Hebrews called it. But when they looked at what was going down in Egypt, it was similar to bondage. So Egypt comes from a word that means bondage or slavery. You read that Exodus 20 and 2.
You can get to that book of Joshua, it talk about what the Egyptians did. You know, and it's if you read it, it's the same as here. You had the slave labor, you had the little labor, they work, you work for them, you know what I'm saying? You went into bondage and talk about what Egypt really did, because Joseph was second in command of Egypt. So we used to be cool with the Egyptians until they got the tripping. So they did the same thing. We built Egypt for them. We built the United States for them. Same system. Still Nimrod all over again. So it's the same.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold.
What?
Ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
Ask a Jewish person, have they ever been sold?
Right.
And no man shall buy you.
Now, the difference between a bondman, a bondwoman, and a slave is what?
One is willing. One is indentured servitude, and the other one is forced.
If I'm a free man and my brother here is a bondman and he working for that man, I can creep on his property. Bruh, how much you owe? $200. Go buy your freedom.
Yeah, free.
Come with me. You understand what I'm saying? That's the difference. His freedom can be bought. I can work off my own freedom and get free again. But we see in this system here, what did they do? As soon as we got ready to pay that bill, again.
But check it out.
They come back with something else, and they kept us like that.
They did the same thing in Egypt.
Exactly.
They worked with us. We were supposed to pay off something. They didn't let us get out of our debt. They enslaved us rather.
Exactly.
They didn't honor their debt. They didn't honor what they were supposed to do.
Just like the slave master did here. So what I'm saying, the difference is between a bondman, bondwoman, and a slave. A slave is a slave. There's no freedom to be bought.
They ain't that slave.
Right.
Can't. There's nothing. So the first ones that got off the ship, they children. Now see what we just read. We just now in the 6-8. We just left there then. Yeah. But we see when it happened.
Right.
Less than 500 years ago is when we got here.
Right.
But we was warned of this, like I said in Deuteronomy. I said the Messiah that came and went back to the crib, and we still tripped.
Hard-hearted, man.
We tripped hardest by not accepting him when he was here.
Right.
That's how hard-headed we still are.
Niggas show.
I want to show y'all something.
Also, that y'all write down Leviticus chapter 25. Those are the laws on redeeming your brother that's sold as a bond.
Mm-hmm. Our favorite phrase, nigga, I'll show you better not to tell you.
Chapter 25. Chapter 25.
Where I'm going is Leviticus 26.
Yeah.
What was 25?
That's the laws on redeeming your brethren out of bondage. Why when he said no man should buy you, no man will be around to redeem us out of this captivity, only the Christ.
And see, that was when we was at home. That you could do that. But now we over here. That's why I say what's the difference between a bondman and a slave?
Right.
We already read where it said no man can buy you. No man will save you.
Only the Christ.
That's right. That's what we waiting on. This is not going to change for us as a people until then.
Proclaim liberty to the captive.
Let's go to Leviticus 26. We're going to start at 40 to the end. This is what I want to show for each and every one of you in here today. Okay?
You ready? Everybody there? Leviticus chapter 26, verse 40. If they shall confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers and their trespass which they trespassed against me, and that also they have walked contrary unto me.
Hold it right there. Ooh. It says if again. We see this if again. Okay. Oh, wow. It says if they. Okay.
Who the hell is that?
In my, I hope I'm not speaking wrong, but as part of my personal prayers, I pray. I pray to the Most High. I say, I pray not for my own iniquities, but the iniquities of my forefathers. Okay? Because I didn't do this. That got me here. You understand what I'm saying? I was born into this. I didn't. But see, he could have made me anybody else, but he said, I knew you before you was in your mother's womb. So I thank him all the time, Lord, for putting me there. Okay? I didn't do. He didn't do. None of us did what it took for us to get here. But he says that thou shalt confess the iniquities of thy fathers and thy forefathers. So, understand what they did. Lord, they was wrong. It's what they did that got us here. That's why I said, part of my prayer, I pray not for my own iniquities, but the iniquities of my forefathers. That's where I got this from. Read on, please.
Verse 41. And that I also have walked contrary unto them, and have brought them into the land of their enemies. If then their uncircumcised hearts be humbled, and they then accept of the punishment of their iniquity.
Stop right there. It says, if their uncircumcised hearts be humbled. It's that hard-headedness of us. That hard-headedness of our people. See, so now that we understand what our forefathers did that got us here, and we accept that, and then we say, where do I go from here? See, this is why I'm saying I'm leading y'all into this point for us today. for each and every one of us today, because we try. Everybody out in here put in work out there in the streets. Everybody in here try to tell somebody else, especially our people, who we are. But their hearts are still uncircumcised. We try, we plead, we beg, we talk, we always make ourselves available. We always putting that work out there. Like I say, I carry DVDs with me everywhere I go. I try. Got a question?
No, I have another scripture just to really kind of make it a reality.
Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 28. Joel 3, 1 through 3.
Right, that was the one we were going to go to. Go ahead, let's get that.
Joel chapter 3.